Hi, I'm Matthias, and this video is supposed to be released towards the end of Thanksgiving Day. That is an American holiday in which we say thank you to, well, all of our friends and family, and we honestly sit down and appreciate the things we have. We, of course, immediately follow that with a totally different holiday, but more on that in a moment, because I do actually want to take a moment and say thank you all for being participating members of our audience. I don't know... the word fans, the word patrons, it doesn't matter. What matters is you tune in every time, you talk to us, you maybe support us with Patreon, you maybe buy some product. Everything else in this video, don't worry about it. Right now, just know we are very thankful for any level of interaction that you have with the show, because that's how we know you're out there, and that's how we know that what we're doing has a value above and beyond funding. Our first mission is to communicate the history. Our second mission is to fund communicating the history. So that's why I put that right at the top of this episode. But just like Thanksgiving is immediately and sometimes overwhelmingly followed by another holiday, one that we've more successfully exported to the world, that's Black Friday, a day of unchecked consumerism. This video is a message of thanks followed by the revelation that, why, yes, we do have a new t-shirt. I've got this down, right? This is the Russian countries style t-shirt. So we have a whole series of these available on the site, and we have reprinted a number of them. So if you missed out on, say, the US of A, go check it out. They are there too now. These are not being campaigned like we previously did. Instead, we've gone ahead and spent the cash to pre-print them. They're in stock this time. We're only going to do the campaigns for the specialty shirts once a year. These are now sitting at the shop. It doesn't mean they'll be there forever. If it's a slow seller, we might see these things start to retire. So go ahead and get yours while you can, because I can't make any promises about them always coming back. We kind of have to stay fresh on what we're doing, and we really can't afford to waste money. So snag them if you want them. This one I highly recommend because, like all the others, it's screen printed on good cotton. It's going to last a number of years. The colors are extremely vibrant. I don't even know if the camera's doing it justice, because this thing is... when I opened the box coming through the mail, I was honestly surprised, even though I'd seen what Martin had done with the Super Dude. This looks fantastic. It's probably my favorite from that t-shirt series with the country motto and then the crossed weapons representative of the country. In this case, we've got the Mosin Nagant. I'm sure plenty of you guys either own or identify with this particular interesting rifle. So by all means, hit the shop, snag one of these guys, snag any other shirts that you want. Know that your money is going towards supporting the primer mission of sharing this history, not only with yourself, but with other people. It's the gift you can give to yourself, to your friend, and then to some strangers who learn a little bit more because of what you've contributed. Now, in addition to the shirt, I do have to announce a new product. These little fabric rectangles, which contain memes. I've heard that many people call them patches, but let's take a closer look. I have not just one, not just two, but I have 3 patches, all of them themed to the Winchester 97 trench gun. Now, hopefully we will get a chance to do other packs, but this is what we're starting with. And if we take a look, let's just go ahead and go down the line. We have the 6x9, which is a reference to the magazine capacity of 5, plus 1 in the chamber of 9 pellet buckshot, and the fact that the Germans were not too pleased with that. While I've got it here, these are 2 by 3 inches in construction, and I'm going to keep them in roughly that size because we're hoping that if they're popular, we're going to do something else down the line, and I would like to have them a little uniform in size for that. Now, they are Velcro backed, and this is not the cheap stuff. I was assured this is of the highest quality from Switzerland. I did not know the Swiss were known for Velcro, but sure. Now, let me get it down the line. We have this one, which I actually love for the story because, of course, waterproof. This reminds us of the difficulties that they had in the trenches with these particular guns. And it kind of reminds me that everybody says, oh, what if the cartridges were waxed? What if this? What if that? I mean, the brass might have done okay, but the brass wasn't there. This was the soldier's nightmare that they dealt with, and I kind of like the tongue-in-cheek. So let me get this out of the way, and this is the crowd favorite so far. This is the Shoot Straight or Detonate Soul Mesquite Club, which again plays out the possible myth of shooting grenades out of the air. And interestingly, I lifted the profile for, I'm backwards in the camera, this guy, since, by the way, I did all the design on these guys. This guy, I took straight from the DuPont ad for selling, DuPont powder to skeet clubs by saying that, the U.S. were shooting grenades out of the air, which is where the myth seems to have started from. So I tried to get a little bit of that origin in there, really make it a, historically interesting piece to be able to share today. All of these are probably the sort of thing that will get you where you can have a nice, long, and boring conversation with a stranger about, military history. And if you don't want to talk to strangers, just don't make eye contact. Most people will avoid you anyway, you weirdo. So, why did we go this route? Well, because it allows us, again, to encapsulate a small part of the history in, a meme. I'm not even going to shy away from it. These are memes. And the idea is that they take a broader understanding of something and compress it into a humorous or otherwise impactful message, and it allows you to carry that around with you. And so this is a way to own a piece of the show, a piece of the experience that you've had watching the show. And I'm not gonna shy away from that at all. I think it's a great little idea. I know they're very popular as a thing now. A lot of people are doing patches. That's because it's a smart way to do it. It's a inexpensive, it takes up very little space, easy to collect, and it reminds you of something that you have learned or experienced. It's perfect. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at this pack and going, I wish they had done the T-Gewehr, or I wish they had done just a generic war were declared in C&Rsenal patch set. That's very fair, and a lot of that stuff is actually in planning, but we had to go with what we thought was a good combination of fresh and yet highly recognized. So a lot of people tuned in for the shotgun episode. A lot of people are very interested in these shotguns. That's why we started with this pack. If these do well, if we sell the inventory we have in a reasonable amount of time, then we're going to just go ahead and release another pack, and we'll just make an announcement at that time, hey, pack 2's up, and then pack 3. And the hope is maybe once a quarter get through a whole pack of these and release a new one. And that's a way for you guys to sort of kick in a few bucks, take home something that reminds you of the show, and yet allows us to kind of partially bulk up the funding of the show and make sure that we're not having trouble going into 2020. We have been kind of skirting where our limit is, and so we're looking for new ways to reach out and connect with you guys that make us a little bit more bulletproof, considering how, well, let's be honest, it's a little wild out there right now. So, support the show by buying these patches if you like the concept at all. We promise to make more, assuming that people like them in general. Other than that, thank you for supporting us on the T-shirt front, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this particular design, or you could just get both. It'll all show up together and you save on shipping. That's a good idea too. Again, if you want none of this, that's perfectly fine. We're just glad that you tuned in, and have a good one.